Morning, first up today, reaction. No two fires are the same. They start for varying reasons and often create very challenging conditions to control and defeat them. However, Reacton have a suite of scalable, tested and certified fire suppression systems able to automatically detect, then knock down a fire before it has an opportunity to take hold. Their automatic fire suppression systems have been tested to the most vigorous and demanding standards in the world. This provides customers the reassurance that should the need arise for our automatic fire control system to be discharged, our solutions always deliver. After the video, you can join the live Q&A using the link below this video or from the Agenda tab.
Hi, I'm Ed Shivers. We're going to be going through a CNC install, really to give everyone an idea of what's involved in a typical installation. What we have behind us is a typical CNC machine, and we're going to be installing the Reacton 4 kilo Indirect clean agent system. This uses 3M Novec 1235 protection fluid and is delivered through a single nozzle. So here we have the CNC machine. In this model, we've got all the data and we worked out the actual volume of the risk, and that dictates what size and quantity of agent you will need. And in this instance, it's the 4 kilo, and we're going to have a single nozzle mounted here, which will deliver the 3M Novec throughout the space. What we have here is the 5.4 litre, the 4 kilo bracket. And what we've done is we've taken the panel off the top of the CNC machine and we've drilled and tapped M8 holes through here. In reality, the self-tapping screws will suffice, but we always like to use an M8 bolt if possible. So we've made 5 holes and we're going to fix them with an M8 530 bolt with a washer either side and a nylock nut on the other end. One thing to remember when you have your system is when you put your cylinder label on, just be aware you've got a cylinder clamp here, so you don't want to impose on this part of the label. And all we do to secure the cylinder, put the clamp in, and then sometimes we secure this with an anti-tamper seal. So with the CTX valve, we're very fortunate. We've actually got 4 positions where we can have a discharge outlet. When you're installing, what you want to make sure is you've got the position of the hose identified, and then you take out either one of these plugs and you insert your RE7400, which allows us to connect to our discharge hose. And in this occasion, we're actually using the red transport plug position, and then we insert it here, and then we would tighten that up accordingly. Any plugs that are removed from here would need to have a metal plug inserted, so we never leave this in on a finished system. Okay, so we've now managed to mount the cylinder on top of the machine. What we've done is connected up our cylinder valve adapter to the hose, and we've actually got a 3/8 elbow here to allow us to come off in this direction, and we've used one of our 1/2 meter hoses, and as we saw earlier, we've drilled an M16 hole here to connect our bulkhead, and then here we've drilled an M20 hole to allow us to put our cable gland, and this is where our detection tube is going to go through. So when we look inside the machine, we've got our clean agent nozzle here. This is the 3/8 clean agent nozzle, which gives complete coverage and disperses the clean agent in the correct way. This is connected with a 3/8 elbow going into a bulkhead which is fitted to our component bracket. and then the other end we have a 1 meter hose that's routed around and is supported through the P-clips. So as you can see here, we've used a twin seal T. This allows us to come down here into the machine, which does the detection tube route, but also we come off this side, which goes to our manual actuator. And this allows any person near the machine to be able to manually activate our system. And we use our twin seal dust covers and our protective sleeving when it is not installed in a detection area. And this just provides an extra layer of protection and identifies it as not part of the detection system. Each part on here is supported with our double-ended cable ties. First wrap goes around our discharge hose, and then as you can see we're supporting the detection tube with the other side of the double-ended cable tie. So in front of us here we've got the manual actuator. This allows for manual activation of the system, and we put it in a convenient place so the operator, if they see the signs of a fire before the detection tube has activated, which is very rare, they can pull the pin and hit the strike knob. This also allows for us to commission the system by having a charging point here, and the gauge can be removed on a pressurized system, and this allows us to monitor and charge the system from this point. So one of the critical things when you're installing the system is making sure that you condition the tube correctly. Make sure you use the proper Reacton tube cutters. You always make sure that you do a clean, straight cut on the tube. Make sure that the end is completely flat and clear of any burrs or anything like that. One thing that Reacton do that sets us apart from the competition is we use a depth gauge to mark the tube to make sure that you actually have the right depth and engagement when you're putting it into one of our twin seal fittings. So what we would do, we insert the tube into this, make sure it hits the bottom, and we mark it with a pen, like so. And then when we push in the fitting, we can make sure that it's in the right depth. So when you push it in first time, it's here, but that's not all the way in. And that's where a lot of people make a common mistake and the system will leak. Now I know that this is completely engaged, there will be 0 leaks on this system. The item that I've got here is our twin seal end cap, and this is bespoke to Reacton, and this allows us to terminate our detection tube line with just this cap. And as we know in the market, there are other companies out there using a single seal, whereas we've tried that before, didn't work, but this one does. It's the double sealing that it has, the twin seal from Reacton. So this is used, it allows us to terminate our detection tube line nice and cleanly, and no need for an end of line. What we can see up here is our Reacton detection tube. We're using the R80 red 4.6 tube, and this is routed across the hazard. We come along here and we loop along, and then we come back out up to the cylinder. We've supported it every 300 millimeters with our 6mm P-clips, and on this installation we've actually terminated the end of the line, the end of the detection tube with one of our twin seal end plugs. So on every installation that has a manual actuator, you want to have one of our labels on there. Just gives some people some real simple instructions of the stages you need to do to activate it, which is pull out the pin and then press the plunger firmly. So we've now completed our installation of our 4 kilo 3M Novet 1235 protection fluid system using the Reacton Indirect valve and system. If you have any questions about how to protect your CNC machine, get in touch with the experts at Reacton, either through our head office in the UK, our Dubai office, or the office in America.
Good morning and welcome to FIREX Tech Talks. I really hope you guys are all having a fantastic week so far. How great was all that sunshine? I mean, it makes the biggest difference, right? We hope you enjoyed our first tech talk this morning by Ed Shivers from Reaction. I'm now joined live by Ed for a Q&A. So get posting all your questions. You can also upvote a question if you see one and you like the answer to it. So don't be shy. He's up for being grilled. Isn't that right, Ed?
Yeah, definitely.
Ed, it's great to have you here. Maybe as we wait for people to join the link and add all of their questions in there for you, you could start by giving us a brief recap of your talk. That'd be really helpful.
Of course, yeah. So my name's Ed Shivers, Global Product Certification Director for Reacton, and the video you just seen is a showcase and a very quick overview of the installation of one of our clean agent CNC fire suppression systems. Uses the Reacton Indirect valve and delivers the 3M Novec fire protection fluid through a single nozzle. Providing, fast and rapid and clean fire suppression.
Fantastic. Okay, so what's sort of been the response that you've had from the market so far? Have you had any maybe surprising or unexpected reactions?
Well, we've actually used that video through a lot of social channels and is on our website, our YouTube channel, and it's had absolutely incredible sort of pickup and traction in the market, which is beautiful, and it was really good for us. And I think that people like to see what is involved in these systems, and we try and deliver that in a very informal way and sort of break it down and make people see the nuts and bolts, but it's not too technical. So I think it's had a great response, and we're really, really pleased with the way that it's had the traction.
It's fantastic, isn't it, when you put so much effort into something and actually are very transparent about what it is, that the reaction's great like that. It's so fab. So what are the most common errors you found when installing the system?
For our type of system, which is the pneumatic tube-based system, it's routing the detection tube in the correct areas and protecting it when it is routed outside of a risk. And one of the most common issues we find is that people not installing the tube correctly. And in the video, I think towards the end, I do a little short piece on the sort of steps you need to be able to do to make sure that the tube is correctly inserted into the twin seals, and then you don't have any issues. And it's very easy once you know it, but if you don't have the tools and the training, there can be some issues. But that's typically the main issue we see. And as you can see from the video, it's a very compact, simple system with minimal parts, and we've designed it like that on purpose.
I suppose you guys are there if there are any problems, right? So they can kind of come back to you and say, we think we might have done this a little bit wrong. Can you help?
Of course, and we again, we've got offices in the UK. I'm in the head office today in Chelmsford in Essex, but we've got offices in Dubai and America, which allows us to have that sort of overlap of essentially 24-hour support. But we also do online training as well, and people can access that wherever they want. So it's if they're unsure, they could just do a nice refresher on their mobile phone and see all the steps in the videos to help them do the install. So, yeah.
Fantastic, fully rounded service. That's what we like. Will this suppression system damage any of the components within the CNC machine if activated?
Not at all, no. So we utilise, on the install you saw there, it was a clean agent, but it was a 3M Novec fire protection fluid system, which is a clean agent, and it discharges and it doesn't leave any residue. It's electrically non-conductive, it's non-corrosive, there's zero cleanup. So there's no damage to anything after an activation.
Brilliant. Well, that's good to hear. So can the system, can the system be integrated with an alarm activation system to notify the appropriate person if it was activated?
Of course, yeah. And I think we missed an opportunity in our installation video to actually showcase our alarm and sounder that we can have on there, but it's very easy, and we utilize a low pressure switch that's mounted on the head, or we can have that mounted in the detection line, and it will give a switch, and then that allow us to have a beacon and sounder go off. But it's very easy to connect to someone's building management system or another fire control panel.
Brilliant. So when you say clean agents, for instance, what does this mean exactly?
So clean agents, in the case of this video, we're talking about the halocarbons, the FM200s, the Novex, those products, but clean agents also cover inert gases as well. But yeah, in this video, a clean agent, we've used this 3M Novec fire protection fluid, and it has zero residue, there's no cleanup, and obviously it's environmentally friendly as well. So that's really what captures the clean agent term.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Ed. I'm so sorry, I have a little frog. They're in my pond and they've come in my throat now. Right, okay. So does Reaction do products for other applications such as electrical cabinets?
Of course, yeah. So the CNC application that it's in is just one of the products in our portfolio. We do electrical panels, control panels, electrical cabinets. We use a slightly different technology, which is called our Direct technology. And that is a system which has the detection tube that's routed around the wrist, but the agent is delivered through that detection tube. So it detects and delivers it. So we do a wide range of the electrical panel systems, and yeah, we have a range from a 1 kilo all the way up to a 6 kilo system.
Oh, fantastic. So why doesn't CNC manufacturers have suppression systems already installed in them?
So some manufacturers have realised the high risk of this, and they actually have them fitted at factory level when they're being made. So that's where people, they're really proactive and they know that there's going to be risks, and that's the best time to install them, I would say, because you can offer, the CNC manufacturer can offer that as part of their service, that the system comes along and it has fire protection in there. And there is like an EU machine directive out there, which is sort of stating that you should have fire extinguishers or a fire suppression system on there, or an extinguisher system on there, if you're running the machines unattended, lights out, what they call in the industry.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ed. So do you actually partner with any CNC machine manufacturers?
At the moment, we've got a few in the pipeline. Some of them we do have NDAs with, so we can't disclose all of the details, but we are very big in the retrofit sort of side. And again, our goal is to educate the market, to explain that you do need these systems. And the webinars we've done in the past, we've actually had some great feedback, but some feedback that as a fire suppression manufacturer, as Reacton is, we didn't actually think of some of those questions that were coming in. And they were saying, we didn't know this technology existed. We didn't know you could have a suppression system on the machine that protects it there. So we really do, as an industry, the fire industry really needs to start doing more to educate CNC shop owners and the manufacturers.
Well, education makes a difference in every industry, doesn't it? And it's all about making sure that you spread the word, especially in the fire industry. So what is the difference between indirect and direct release systems?
So we cover this on our website, and we've done some really nice 30-second videos, and we've got some great animations on there. So if you go to the website, you'll be able to see the differences between direct and indirect. But also, there's in its simplest way of being explained is direct, the detection tube, which you saw in the video, routed around the risk. And wherever there's a fire, it heats up it bursts the tube, and the agent is delivered from that burst point. But in indirect form, the tube is still routed around the risk, the fire starts and it bursts the tube. However, that activates a separate valve which discharges the agent through a discharge network and nozzles. So that's the main difference.
Well, very well explained, thank you. So what are the recommended servicing schedules for these systems?
Again, this will depend on where you are having the system installed. So in the DOT markets, you go towards your NFPA 2001 for the servicing, and that would be every 6 months. However, in the UK and Europe, where we're using our CE products, we actually have a 1 year service on these. So it's only 1 year in the CE markets. And it's a very simplistic overview and check of the components and the system weight.
Brilliant. So if activated, would the suppression system then need to be immediately replaced with a new one? And how quickly can Reacton turn a new one around?
It's a really good question. And we've got a few ways of answering that. And what Reacton like to try and do is you actually have a standby reserve cylinder on site, which allows an engineer. We've got a big group of engineers using our sister company that can get out to people within 24 hours. And that's what we actually state. And they can go to site and they can reattach the system and check it all and commission it. However, it's a very fast-moving product for us, and we have loads in stock here, and we have a turnaround time on a brand new order of at least 1 to 2 days as standard. So, yeah, it could be done in 24 hours if we need to. So
that's a fantastic element to your customer service, isn't it? You know, for that peace of mind for somebody installing that and knowing that no matter what, they've got that guarantee from you. That's really brilliant.
Yeah, no, we're really pleased with that. And we understand that the customers don't want to have downtime, and they may have such a critical machine. You know, some of these machines are 350, sometimes 500,000 in cost. And if they lose that, then it's a huge investment that is gone. And also they can lose their contracts with customers. They have to deliver a service to their customers, and business continuity is extremely important. So having zero downtime and getting products back online as quick as possible is always the goal.
You're so passionate about this subject and about Reacton. How long have you worked for these guys? Like, you seem really, you know, it's really, the passion comes through.
Yeah, it's I've been here since 2016, from the early stages, well, pretty much since the start. And I think that the passion is always been there for me in the fire industry. I started in the fire industry straight from college, so as soon as I was 18, and yeah, it's brilliant working here at Reacton. We've got some amazing people in the team, but that's one thing that you can see throughout anyone in the business is the passion. And again, the owners have that, and it filters down, and everyone else has the same outlook. So, but yeah, we like doing things slightly different, but also trying to have a bit of fun at the same time of doing it. So it's really important.
Oh, well done. It comes across really well. So I think finally, do you have any new products coming out in the new month, in the next few months, or maybe yeah, early next year, that our audience should keep an eye out for?
There's some that I can't talk about, but there is a lot in the pipeline. Mainly having serious approved systems that will be coming out, but there's a few other bits of technology. One thing to be aware of is Reacton, really its core sort of service and its technology has always been built from the vehicle fire suppression side. So we have great vehicle fire protection systems, whether it's for bus and coach, whether it's for heavy plant, industrial equipment. That's one of our core technologies as well. So there's a lot of developments going on in that area, and the clean agent side. and some other bits as well. So just watch this space. Everyone will quickly find out.
Fantastic. Well, exactly what Ed said. Watch this space. And that is all we have time for in this Q&A. Thank you all so much for interacting. Thanks, Ed, for a great chat, and to Reacton as well for their talk and being so candid. Further tech talks will be taking place at Connect 2021 from the 1st to the 30th of June. Yes, that's right. As effective as these online events have been, and a real godsend, we're kind of all itching to get back to meeting face to face. I know I am, seeing real humans. Which is why we're very excited for IFSIC International and FIREX International taking place on the 12th to the 14th of July at Excel London. Fully COVID compliant. All the details are on the website. Find out more and secure your place both at both of these by heading to the IFSIC International or FIREX International website. Next up, we have a talk from Ken Mullock from Advanced. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye,
Cheers.
Ed.
See you. Bye.